Hey guys, it's Elena. I've been experimenting lately with the concept of doing journals and notebooks and that type of thing in the Procreate app. And as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, Page Assist can sometimes not be ideal for this, especially if you need a lot of layers for mixed media. I've actually been developing a different method and I want to show you how this works because I think it's more intuitive and easier to use, and you can have as many layers and as many pages as you want. At the end of the video, I will also be showing you my free digital journaling starter pack that you can download from the link in the description, and this includes the template that I'll be showing in the video. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be showing you with this journal template that you can see here with paper textures, binding, and backgrounds, and I will explain this template later on in the video, but you can have this for free and the link is in the description. So in any case, the way that people normally would set up a journal in Procreate is with Page Assist, and you can do that going to the gear icon, Canvas, Page Assist. And what has happened here is that if something is a single layer or a group in the layers panel, it becomes a page down here. And a lot of people set up journals like this. I don't personally like it. For one, the paper textures have disappeared. So before we set this up, we had some really nice paper textures and binding textures, making this look more realistic. But then as soon as we turn on Page Assist, that becomes its own thing. And, you'd have to have it all within the same group and then duplicate it every time within the same document here. And that leads us to the second problem, which is that you can't have a lot of layers if you're doing a Procreate book with Page Assist. The type of artwork that I like to do, and that I think maybe a lot of you watching this channel like to do, is mixed media, which has a lot of layers in it. All these little bits of paper in here, I've got shadows on them, I've got stitches, and just a lot of different layers here. In addition to the paper textures that I have, the binding textures that I have as well, which you can only see here right now because this is Page Assist. Another reason why I don't like it is because not every iPad has a lot of memory. Some are older iPads and you'll run out of layers really fast in that case. So all that to say, I don't think that Page Assist is ideal for mixed media journals in Procreate or any other kind of journal or book concept in Procreate that involves a lot of layers. So what I prefer to use are stacks. So I've got my art journal here, and I'll explain all of this in a minute. But basically with a stack, you can flip through it just like a book, like this. And so I will just explain what I'm doing here. So this is a stack that I've made, and I've just called it my art journal. And if you don't know what a stack is, it's basically all these little folders that we have in the Procreate gallery. And you can make these really easily by taking one document and then holding it over another one, and then it becomes a stack. And you can add more, you can duplicate within the stack and all of that. So I've made a stack here that I've called my art journal. And the first page is just kind of a standard cover page that I made. And then I've got all of my different pages in here, and this is kind of like some older artwork that I just sort of pasted in here so I could show you. So the very last page is the journal template, and this is just the blank journal template with everything set up how I want it, with the paper textures that I want, the binding textures that I want. And I keep this one blank at the end, and then I have a cover at the beginning. So inside of the template, I still have all of my layers that come with the original template that I'll show you in a minute. But what you would probably want to do for your journal template is keep a version of the main template somewhere else. But in this template that goes inside of your journal, you probably just want to go ahead and delete whatever you're not using. So just set it up however you want. Delete the extra layers so that it's a smaller file. And then what you can do, every time you make a new page inside of your journal, all you have to do is go back to the original template down at the bottom, swipe left, and duplicate. So now we have another one. We keep that one blank there so that we can keep duplicating it as many times as we want. And then we make a new page. So this is how you can keep adding pages to your journal, which is a stack in Procreate, and just keep the blank template at the end and trim it down to a small file, as small as possible without extra layers that you don't want to use. And then you just keep duplicating that for every new page until you're done with that journal and you want to start a new stack or a new journal. So something that is maybe not a well-known fact is that there is something called preview mode with Procreate galleries and stacks. And that's what I was just showing you, where you can flip through the different pages really easily. And all you have to do to enter preview mode is to swipe out on the image like that. And then you can swipe through like this. And to me, this feels more like a book than Page Assist, because it's just more intuitive. It's, swiping, which is what you would do in real life. And what you can actually do when you're in preview mode like this, you're swiping through, you might see something that you want to change or edit. And all you have to do is double tap on that image, and then you get into edit mode and you can do whatever you want within that mode. And so it's really easy to flip through a book and then draw on any specific page that you want to from that. And we just go to gallery to get back. And if we're in preview mode, another way to get out of this, and we don't want to edit anything, we just want to go back to the gallery, all we have to do is just pinch out on that. And you can also enter preview mode from the outside of the stack. So we were on the inside and we were just swiping out on the individual images within that stack. But from the outside, from the root gallery, you can actually just go into preview mode on the entire stack like that. And you don't have to even tap into the stack at all. You can just start to preview, and then if you want to go in, you just double tap. Something else I wanted to point out, and that will probably be coming to mind for many of you, is that in Page Assist, you do have the option to export a PDF that has every page as its own page within the PDF. And I thought at first that this was something that would have to have a workaround, but actually you can export a stack as a PDF as well. So just a note that you probably would want to get rid of the template, the blank template at the end, before exporting a PDF. But what you can do from the root gallery is you swipe left on the stack and share. And right here, you can share as a PDF. And you can choose your quality. So if it's just something that you're sharing with family and not planning on printing, you could choose good, or if you're going to print, then you could choose best. So that's up to you. But then we will export. So here we are in GoodNotes, and I've just exported this PDF, and you can save it, you can open it, you can share it. So this is a way that you can really easily share the entire book, and we've got the cover as the first image. And I will make sure that you have all of the steps in the description written down for you so that you can follow the process, and hopefully it makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I haven't thought about, which might be a problem. I would love to hear your thoughts on this process. But for me, I do feel like using a stack with preview mode is just more intuitive. It feels more like a book. We don't have this Page Assist bar down at the bottom, which I find a little bit annoying, to be honest. And I feel like it's very intuitive to flip through the book in this way, to double tap to get into edit mode. Everything is just cleaner this way. You have more layers for each page, and you can add a lot of ephemera and a lot of layers, which is what I love to do. It doesn't get complicated with grouping. You can group things how it makes sense rather than having everything within the same group, which is what you would need with Page Assist. So with all of that said, I did promise to explain the free template as well. So the template that I've been using, as I said, is something that I offer for free, and this is new. And you can find the link in the description to sign up for this. But basically, this is the digital journaling starter pack. And what you get with this are two different templates. We've got the landscape journal template, which is the one that I've been using. And we've also got a portrait version of the same template where you can choose a lot of different paper textures. And I'll show you that in just a moment. You can also get the free mixed media sampler, which are some brushes to get you started. And then we've also got a drag and drop ephemera library, which I will show you as well. But basically what we have here is we have paper textures, we have binding options, and we have a draw here layer underneath of all of that. And then we have the background. So let's just turn off the paper textures for now, and I'll show you that in a minute. But what we have in the background is that we have some different notebook styles, basically. We've got the graph, dots, we've got lines, and we've also got college ruled. And this is slightly different for the portrait version, but it's largely the same. But these are the different types of notebook paper that we could have in the background layer, or we could just turn it off entirely. Then we've got our draw here layer. And above that, we've got some different binding options. We've got some different options for shadows as well, so that you can have a booklet or like a more deep, like chunky looking shadow of a book. We've got the stitched binding, which is turned on here. We've also got like a stronger middle fold. We've also got different kind of binding. We've got the spiral binding. We can have an end coil as well. And this is where the portrait version is different. Most of the paper textures and the background textures are pretty much the same in the portrait version, but the shadows are more about the side over here rather than something down the middle, which is what we have in the landscape. So back in the landscape, the way that I had it set up in the images that I was just showing you is I've got the main shadows and the deep shadow and the stitched binding, and then I've left the other ones off. Something else that we need to note is that for each of these layers, and this includes the binding and the paper textures, if we tap on this M here, we get the blend modes menu. And so what we have here is the opacity slider and the blend modes themselves. I've set most of these in the binding and the paper textures to either multiply or linear burn. That's because these are shadows and textures, but you can also change the blend mode to anything that you want to. You can also change the opacity. So this is the main shadow layer and it's set to about 66%, but you can change it to be less prominent by taking the opacity slider down, or you can make it a lot more prominent by taking it all the way up. And this goes for everything here. You can adjust everything exactly to how you want it. And you can also do the same thing in the paper textures. And then in the paper textures, we have quite a lot of options. We've got cartridge paper, which is just kind of very standard paper you'd find in a sketchbook. We've also got watercolor paper, which is scanned from real watercolor paper. We've got canvas. We've also got handmade paper, and you'll notice that all of these are black and white. They don't have color in them, and the reason for that is because I want you to be able to change the color yourself. So I've got the background color set to kind of a neutral white, but you can also change it to something else. So the paper will pick up what's underneath of it. So for instance, we've got this chipboard here, and this one is quite dark as it is, but you can change the color of the paper by changing the background color of the whole document. And this is another way that you can set up your journal to be exactly how you want it to be as a template within your journal stack. So we've also got some craft paper, we've got rice paper, we've got crumpled paper, and creased paper. You'll notice I just combined those two. You can combine any of these paper textures with each other as desired. So let's say we want some crumpled looking craft paper. We can combine all of that together. And then we can change the color to something else entirely. It's really completely up to you exactly how you want to do this. But those are the paper textures, and again, you can mix and match whatever you want. A lot of times the crumpled texture goes really nicely with another type of paper, and you can really just decide how you want this to be. Also, as part of the digital journaling starter pack, we've got the mixed media sampler, which includes some stitches, some paint brushes, and some ephemera stamps. So on this same page where you will download the template and the brush sampler, I've also provided a library of public domain images that you can use for your collage. And I specifically wanted to arrange this as a really easy and quick drag and drop library where you can take the images and drag them directly into Procreate. You can, of course, save the images as well, but I wanted to do it this way because I find saving the images on my iPad and organizing them and remembering what I've downloaded. I just find that all a bit cumbersome, and I wanted to try to arrange this in an easier drag and drop way instead. So you can see I've got my browser open next to Procreate like this, and let me just show you how I got there. So there is a new version of iPadOS that is making all of this possible. And so this is how a browser window will normally look. It'll take up the whole screen. But what we can do now is we can drag down from the top left, and then we get this little menu just like we would get on a computer. So we've got our maximize, minimize, or close window. And we can also rearrange the size of this. We can make it bigger, smaller, and we can just arrange this exactly how we want. And again, this is Safari, but you can do this with Chrome as well. So now that this window is not taking up the whole screen, we can open Procreate again, and then you can just have Safari open like this. So let's say we want to take this postcard. So I'm just tapping and holding on it, and you can see that I've picked it up with my finger. My finger's still on the screen, and I can drag it directly over into Procreate like this. And then we can resize it, and we can move it around. We can put it on different pages. And this has actually gone into the paper textures, which is not what we wanted. We can actually put this above like that if we want it to be completely on top of everything, or we could put it underneath of the paper textures above the draw here layer. So that's completely up to you. But basically what you can do is you can drag and drop a bunch of stuff in, and then you can do whatever you want to those images. And for me, it's a lot easier just to browse in this way. And you have to kind of be careful not to tap on the text. So try to tap like on the corner of something. If there's text, it might try to pick it up as text instead. And again, we can make Procreate smaller as well, like this, so that we can easily tap back and forth like that, and just grab something and drop it in. So anyway, this is just something new that I wanted to experiment with. I feel like this is an easier way to kind of manage ephemera. And so this is just another way to get some different, ephemera and images into Procreate. And again, this is all available for you for free on the Digital Journaling Starter Pack, and the link for that is in the description below. So I hope that was helpful. I just wanted to quickly kind of explain how I organize my journals and notebooks in Procreate without using Page Assist. And I know that I have done videos about Page Assist in the past, and that was before I discovered the stack method, which is what I use now. And I just find this intuitive and easier than Page Assist for the type of mixed media journaling that I like to do. And I wanted to go ahead and share the Digital Journaling Starter Pack with you for free in the same breath, because it kind of goes hand in hand for me. And I'm sure in lots of future tutorials and videos, I will probably be using both this stack method for making journals and also the journaling template that I showed you that you can get for free. So I wanted to kind of show you both at the same time so that you can get your own journal started and start experimenting with this method as well if you want to. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful, and please do leave a comment and let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with. And I hope to see you next time.